If you ask someone about their life purpose, you will notice that there are two types of people in this world. Let's call them type 1 and type 2. So if you could interview these two different types of people, it would be something like this. So what's your life purpose? Purpose? Well, I don't know actually. Purpose? Oh my god, I actually have a lot of dreams I wish I can fulfill someday. And what about your hobbies and your passion? Well, I like reading books. I also like listening to music, spend good time with my friends. And does watching Netflix count as a hobby? Oh, okay, so I love reading books, especially self-help books and economy books, because that will help my business grow. I also love cosplay, okay, everything that's transforming into my favorite characters, and that also make me love, for example, Korean skincare and Korean makeup. I also love to dance. I was dancing since I was 14. And did I mention that I also love painting and acting? Okay, so last question. What's your dream job? Well, I mean, everything is fine as long as I'm paid well and I'm happy in my job, you know. I will actually love to become an actress, but at the same time I would love to be an entrepreneur and have my own business and be my own boss, you know. But sometimes I also think, what about making a living from art, like making it as a dancer or an artist? That would be so cool. Or just living like a content creator, because I love to create content, and I was actually working as a model before, and I know a lot about gothic fashion and fashion in general, so I could also be a fashion influencer, right? I don't know, I just have so many options, and I will probably have more than one dream job, and that's stressing me out a little bit. I'm passionate about so many things, and I have so many skills that I could monetize, that it's actually so difficult just to choose one, you know. It's definitely so hard to just choose one dream job. You see the difference? The second category seems like has everything figured out until we get to the last question, which is the dream job. There is when the second category is fucked up. I am in the second category, and I assume that most of the people watching this video in this channel are also in the second category. Welcome. And those are actually real answers that people gave me whenever I asked them about their dream jobs or passions or hobbies in life. And that made me realize that there are people being okay or even happy with too little, while other people like me, for example, live in misery because we want just too much out of this life. And it's definitely not impossible, but it's harder to get there. And don't get me wrong, because both categories are definitely fine, okay? Neither is better than the other. They're just different, and that's totally fine. So whether you are in the first or in the second category, both are fine and both have their pros and the cons. And I will even say that the second category is even worse than the first one, because having too many dreams can literally ruin your life as much as having none. And on top of that, you spend so many years feeling lost and miserable, not because you don't have direction, but because you have too many that you are just confused. And that confusion can also lead to not take action on anything specific. That happened to me, and now I'm 29 and I find myself not achieving anything until now, which is so sad. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Nami Ayashi, and I'm currently building my dream life while figuring things out. My dreams: become a successful entrepreneur, have financial freedom, become a full-time content creator, and become an actress. This channel is where I document every single step that I'm taking toward my dreams, so I can be your motivation, your example, or your inspiration, because if I can get it, you can get it. So I will be documenting every single little win or failure, and as always, I will be 100% transparent and honest with you. So whether you want to grow with me or just follow my journey, you are more than welcome. So I've been struggling with this problem all my life, but somehow I can finally feel that I got the solution. And that's why I want to share this with you right now, and that's why I'm also making this video, so I can help someone like me. So after watching a lot of videos, after reading a lot of productivity books, and after organizing my own life, after so many years, I just came to the best system ever, which is the 3 jars system, which I will explain in the next points of this video, so stay with me. But before getting in the 3 jar system, let's deep dive a little bit more into this problem. One of the biggest struggles of my life has been actually this. I don't have one dream. I have too many. I have too many passions, too many hobbies, too many skills. So what's the problem actually? How can having many dreams and passions and skills in life can be a problem? I wanted to be an actress, a business owner, a K-pop idol, a dancer, an artist, and at some point even more things. And instead of moving forward with all my passions and dreams and skills, I felt stuck most of my life, if that even makes sense. Because when you try to do everything at once, you end up doing nothing properly. And if you want to grow something, whatever thing in your life, then you need to focus all your energy into that thing, not to spread your energy in so many things at the same time. You will never get everything done. And that's why the people in the first category actually have an advantage. If they actually find something that they enjoy doing or they are passionate about, they will focus in that one thing and they will develop that thing way more faster than those in the second category. So if you are in the second category, you're probably tired at this point of people saying, okay, so just focus in one thing or just choose one thing, right? But these multi-passionate people in the second category also know how hard it is to just choose or focus in one single thing. I tried that and I ended up overwhelmed or even doing more things at the same time. So spoiler, it doesn't work like that. So I stopped trying to choose one single dream and instead I disorganized my life, because organization is everything. I created 3 different categories or 3 different jars, call it whatever you want, and that changed everything. Trust me, having a good and smart organization can change everything in life. The ideal approach is neither doing everything at the same time nor abandoning everything. You need to shift your focus and decide what you're going to concentrate on most. So let's assume that everyone's priority in life is money, right? Because no matter your hobbies or your job, your skills, everyone needs an income in order to live. So that will be our main focus. That can be your job, your business, whatever you're doing to make money. That can also include hobbies that you can monetize, of course. But now we get to the next problem, which is you can't live your life just working, right? It's like losing your identity as a human being, because we are not designed to consume but to create. As by the way, one of my awesome followers said in one of the comments of my videos, so I will put it right here. As I said, I literally love all your comments and I love to see that there are so many smart and awesome and like-minded people like me. So remember to let me a comment down below, because I read and I answer it and I love all of them. And who knows, maybe your comment will be the next comment of my next video. So yes, you need to create, but you also need to remember that you don't actually have to monetize every single hobby or passion that you have. Allow yourself to enjoy that moment, to enjoy that hobby. I want to tell you something very important. Even though you are not monetizing that hobby or that passion, you are investing in you, in your mindset and your peace. That's also very important, right? Because whenever you are, I'm pretty sure that every artist or content creator will relate to this. Because if you are doing that hobby, that passion, without necessarily thinking every single time, I need to monetize this, but I have this skill and people will be willing to pay for this skill, and if I'm not monetizing this, then that means that I'm wasting my time and this and that. Relax. Okay, relax. Not every hobby needs to be monetized. Just enjoy them. And now, of course, you will probably have no time for everything you want to do, and that's the reality. There will be always things that you want to learn or build that requires a lot of time and energy. And let's be honest, unless you are not financially free now, and money is definitely not a problem anymore for you, you should put all that things in the waiting list. You don't have to abandon them, okay? You just let them there, waiting for you until you are ready. And I promise that you will have time for them later. And now, the most important part you've been waiting for, the 3 jars system. As a multi-passionate person, this actually helped me a lot to organize myself and to do everything that I want to do. So I will tell you how I organize mine as a reference, but of course it will look so different for everybody. Depending on your situation or your hobbies, for example, the percentages or the things in the jars may be different, of course. So you just do it how you think it will suit you the best. Jar number 1, money. This jar should be at least 60% of your time. For me, for example, is minimum 70% of my time, and sometimes even 90% of my time. This is the one that most people avoid, but actually is the most important one. You need something that makes you money, period. Because dreams without money become stress, and we don't want that. For me, this jar is my business. So I will have YouTube, Etsy, and Patreon. And this actually requires a lot of time and energy, and that's why I say that this jar usually is 90% of my time. I'm doing everything on my own. I don't have a team or editors or stuff like that. That means recording videos, making my scripts, editing my videos, making my photo shoots, editing photo shoots, converting them into a Patreon set, also interacting with my followers, then watch my Etsy courses, my marketing courses, read my marketing books, talk with my mentors, make listing, watch more YouTube tutorials, and design. So of course this takes most of my time, but at the same time this is the most important thing, because at the end of the day I need money. So at least 70% of your time should go here, not because it's your passion, not because you love to do this, but because you need money, you need an income. And if you also think about this, it's also a huge help for your own dreams and your own passions, because as I said before in many of my videos, I am so concentrated and so focused in growing my businesses right now. It's because I need that money. Money is actually a very important tool that will help you a lot when it comes to your dreams. Because if you think about it, like for example, if I am financially free right now, I will have even more free time in the first place. I can buy a new camera, I can buy a new microphone for my YouTube channel, I can take more Etsy courses, I can pay for my ads, I can move to another city where probably I will have more opportunities or more castings as an actress, or I can take acting classes, or I can do pretty much wherever I need to. It's a huge help for you in the future, but of course you gotta sacrifice your free time now and invest in this and develop this first, because of course it will take time and it will take money and it will take a lot of effort, but it will be worth it. This will look different for everybody, of course. It can be your own business or it can be your common job. Just work until you have the money that you will need. Second jar is hobbies, and this will be 30% of your time. Not everything you do needs to be monetized, and this is when people burn out. If you try to turn everything into a business, you suddenly start to hate everything you used to love. For me, this jar could be dancing, performing, reading books while drinking my matcha. So, you know, it's my relaxed moment. Drawing something, create cosplays, everything that's art, creativity, stuff like that. And yes, it's okay if it doesn't make money. I realized that if I spend too much time without dancing or drawing, I burn out super fast, because these are things that are actually keeping me alive, that are keeping alive my artistic spirit. It is like my energy, and I'm pretty sure that artists will relate to this. So it's very important to keep your artistic and creative spirit alive above money. And now the third jar is the waiting list, the one that we hate, yes, but it's definitely necessary. These are the things or dreams that you want to do, but not right now. Not because you're giving up, but because you're being strategic with your time. You're not saying never, you're just saying later. For me, these are things that requires a lot of my time and energy in order to get them done. One of them was actually learn Chinese. Since I was a child, I was learning Japanese and Chinese on my own. So there are things that of course I would love to get done. I would love to learn Chinese, but that will require a lot of my time and energy right now. So it's just in the waiting list for later. I will also, for example, love to stream on Twitch my favorite games. I don't know, it's just something that I will generally love to do. Honestly, I don't want to monetize Twitch or be a streamer or stuff like that. It's just entertainment. I would like to stream my favorite games and that's all, but of course that's entertainment and I don't have time for entertainment right now. Later, if I will have financial freedom, if I don't have to worry about money and this and that, of course I can just sit and play games all day on Twitch, even if I'm not monetizing. So that's just on my waiting list. Now, if this strategy helped you in any way, I will be so grateful if you can let me a comment down below, if you can subscribe and you can like this video so I can do more. And also tell me in the comments what's a dream that you tried to do too early, and also how do you organize your day in order to do everything that you want to do. I'm actually curious about, because maybe you have more tips that I don't know. So share them with us. And if you ever feel lost because you just want too much in life, I need you to understand something. That's not your weakness. That's actually your potential. And you just need to know how to control it. You don't need to choose one dream. You just need to choose when each dream gets your energy and prioritize what is most important at this time. For me, for example, this whole strategy in my mind looks like, okay, so I'm working in my businesses to make money, like I said, Patreon, YouTube, and Etsy. But at the same time, I'm also growing my content creator stuff. I'm also being creative with YouTube, right? I'm also being creative and I'm designing for Etsy. So I'm also fulfilling my entrepreneurial goals and my artistic goals at the same time. And on top of that, making money from it. Not right now, but in the future, I hope. And then on weekends, I will work on my artistic dreams, like for example, my acting career or my cosplays, or working on my main channel, which is for cosplay and performing, creating more cosplays, drawing, dancing for entertainment because I love to dance and stuff like that. So that's how I somehow organize my day. But if you want to know more about how I organize my weeks or my days, let me know down in the comments so I will make a special video just for it.